drive to right field. This ball is gone. Gone and into the history books.
The Seattle Mariners, Felix Hernandez, the 2-2. He got it! 34 years, 119 games. It's finally happened. A perfect game by a Seattle Mariner. It was done by the King.
And the 0-1 pitch on the way to Edgar Martinez. Swung on and line down the left field line for a base hit. Here comes Joy. Here is Junior to third base. They're going to wave him in. The throw to the plate will be late. The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship. I don't believe it. It just continues. My, oh my. And they are going crazy at the Kingdom.
Welcome to the Corner of Edgar and Dave, your Seattle Mariners baseball fan podcast covering all the exploits of the Seattle Mariners Baseball Club. I am Jacob, here with my brother Nick. Nick, how's it going?
I'm good, dude. It's been a while since we got to do the podcast, but
yeah, it has been. It's been a couple weeks. Had some scheduling difficulties last week. We were trying to cover, and we got busy lives, so it's probably a good thing. Let's be honest here. The last week and this week, or the week, let's see, this last week that we're going to be talking about, and the week before that we missed covering, not too different. There's not a lot of difference going on here. Season...
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, Season 3, Episode 7. God, let's get it started off, Nick. Well, first off, before I ask you what the best thing and the worst thing you saw this last week was, I gotta quick get some tips from you. What is your MLB The Show marketplace tips of the week this week? Who are we looking forward to get? I saw that there was an update recently. They updated. They had the first update for the marketplace.
I actually haven't been playing the market that much this week, just because I've actually had other shit going on for once.
Oh, you've been laying off the market.
I know, dude. My stonks are not looking too good right now.
Not looking great. That's okay though. That's okay. You'll get them next week. I'm just saying I rely on you for my MLB The Show marketplace tips.
Dude, next week I'm gonna come back with a vengeance. Episode 6, I think it is. I'm gonna study up. I've got homework. I'm gonna know exactly who's gonna be gold next patch. I know exactly who's gonna be diamond. I don't know exactly who to sell on. I got this whole market down.
I'm just waiting for my Brandon Woodruffs and Corbin Burns Milwaukee Brewers cards to go gold or diamond. What the heck? Those guys are the two best pitchers in baseball besides Jacob deGrom, and they're just sitting there at silvers.
The Brewers
what the actual
are one
heck?
of the teams on the show that are kind of criminally underrated because they have a pretty fucking solid pitching staff.
I know.
Just no one's gold, no one's diamond except for Hader. No one else even gets to be gold.
Yeah, I've loaded up on Brewers and Mariners players just because I love them. Just because I love them.
Did you get Yelich yet? What's his price at? $60K?
Yeah, something like that. No, I have not got that many coins. I don't think I'm very good at getting coins because really the only way I earn them is through playing franchise mode. I'm dominating in franchise mode though. I had to keep increasing the difficulty. These kids can't stop me. For whatever reason too, when I increased from veteran to all-star or all-star to whatever is above that and hitting actually got easier because they started throwing more balls. I feel at veteran they would throw a lot more strikes and I would just hit a lot more ground outs and flyouts. I get so many walks on the higher difficulties because they try and get cute and they throw so many balls.
I actually don't. I mean, from my experience personally, I don't totally think the AI changes too much, but being able to not get as many hits without barreling the ball up makes the game easier. You're definitely right on that. Because so the soft contact stuff, when you get it on the PCI, the plate coverage indicator, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
If you get it on the
fancy
PCI,
up here with terminology.
If you get it on the PCI, but you don't get it on the barrel, you're just gonna pop it up, or you're gonna ground right.
Yeah.
But if you barrel the ball up, which you're gonna do more consistently because the soft contact zone is smaller.
Yeah.
It actually kind of makes the game easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I 100% agree.
I totally get what you're saying.
I'm also, the last thing I'll say about the MLB The Show, I'm so pissed. They did Felix so dirty. Felix is trash. I played Felix. I got to the first series where they played at Baltimore, and I played against Felix in like the third or fourth game. I lit his ass up.
Yeah.
And the thing is that all of his stuff is soft and all of it is down. So I'm just sitting down, and anything that finds in the zone, whether it's the changeup or the sinker, or like his main pitch they have is like a like slurve or something like that, or a sweeping curve. I think it is. His main pitch was a sweeping curve. Yes. So I'm just sitting down low on everything, and I'm just waiting. And every time he hangs a sweeping curve, I lit his ass up. I had him ran in the second inning.
Dude, I'll be honest with you, they've been doing Felix dirty in the show for like 4 years. Like, I don't think since like 2018 he's like been higher than like 75.
Yeah,
and it's just depressing.
No respect. I lit his ass up, and then I thought about trading for him, and I was like, it's gonna hurt too much. Plus, then I remember you told me that there's no King's Court, so
yeah, there's no King's Court, so why would you do it?
Yeah, why would I do it?
Like I said, but I'm surprised he was even on the Orioles, because on my playthrough he was just a free agent, because by the time the game came out he had already been released, right? So.
Well, he hasn't been released. He opted out.
No, he got released from the Orioles because he didn't make the 40-man roster.
Oh, did they straight release? I heard that he opted out again. I mean, I'm wrong. I don't know. This isn't a Baltimore Orioles podcast. Although it should be, because John Means is our daddy now, but that's not the point. We'll get into that in a little bit. Anyways, Nick, best thing you saw, worst thing you saw this week? Give it to me.
Dude, off the top of my head, in the past 2 weeks, we should say, because it's been a while, right?
Past 2 weeks, for sure.
If I look back on one specific event, it's got to be that J.P. Crawford home run. That kind of came out of nowhere, right?
In the Rangers series, just recently?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a dong. Did you see it hit a woman in the head?
Yes, of course.
Oh my god. JP killed a girl.
I didn't see it live, but I saw the video on like the Mariners subreddit. And, and it's fucking Dave Sims talking really slowly. He's like, "Look out," and she's like,
yeah, she ate it. I feel bad, dude. You got to pay attention if you're at the game. You got to pay attention. She ate that one. Absolutely ate that one. You hate to see that. So that was the best thing you saw. What's the worst thing you saw?
Probably just like that. Okay, not even like a Seattle Mariners thing, kind of, but that call in yesterday's game when Kyle Lewis was crossing the plate on in the top of the ninth.
Yeah,
it was to tie the game. Kyle Lewis, who had already face first dove in the game on a very close play, decided to feet first dive for some reason.
Yeah, and that face first one, the one where he got his hand under the tag, that first one, that was sick. That was absolutely filthy.
And he only made it work because of the face first dive. And so why would he, in a bigger moment, go for the feet first dive? I'm watching this and I'm like, Kyle, what?
Yeah, well, and the thing about diving in head first is that you can be more crafty with your arms, and you can like dodge tags and stuff like that with your hands.
Yes, and you had to have known that play was even going to be even closer than the previous one, because that ball was not deep, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, I don't know, man. I feel like the Mariners obviously lost the series 2-1, and I just feel like they could have won that second game with Kyle getting in there, and then they have 2 men on with 2 outs in the ninth, and that guy like couldn't throw a strike, right?
Yeah.
So, unfortunate.
Yeah. Anyways, that's a good one. The best thing I saw this week, 100% the best thing I saw is that if you're on Twitter, and I am, freaking Shed Long, as the one who mostly manages our podcast Twitter account, I'm on it a lot, right, during the games. I'm trying, I'm very bad about like live tweeting because I'm not very good at that. Like, but I'll try and retweet. I mostly just like retweet, and then I always like tweet out our record at the end of the day with like a quick little thought or whatever. But someone who is a great Twitter follow, I don't know if I mentioned it yet, Shed Long is really great at like when he live tweets the games. Like Shed Long is watching every game. He's on the 60-day injured list, right? And he is watching every single game. He's got nothing else going on. And he is an awesome follow. He had put out one of the best tweets I've seen. It was, shoot. I'm trying to remember which home run.
He's on the injury list? I thought he was down in Tacoma.
No, he's on the 60-day injury list. I think he'd probably be on the team because Jerry loves him so much. I think he'd be on the team if he was healthy.
Well, that's the thing. I was really surprised, and I'm surprised we haven't really talked about it in the show up to this point. But where the fuck has Shed been, right? Because I know
he started. He got injured in spring training.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's.
I think he got re-injured in spring training. Anyways,
That
regardless,
sucks.
he is an awesome Twitter follow. He sent out probably my favorite Mariners tweet of the year right now. He's like, I'm gonna name my kid Kyle or something like that. It was after a huge Kyle Lewis home run. He's like, I'm gonna name my first son Kyle. I forget.
I actually saw
where was
something
it?
like that too. That's
Where?
pretty funny.
Let's see. I was just looking at it. Oh yeah, he said it was after. Let's see. It was 5 days ago. So it would have been this second Orioles game. The Orioles game we won. And he said, I think I'm naming my son Kyle. And that was a pretty fucking dope tweet. I was like, damn, that's pretty freaking smart, Shedlong. You're a smart cookie over there.
That's
I might be doing the same thing.
I gotta criticize it a little bit. I'm gonna say, if I have a child, not naming him Kyle, because like Kyle's the Monster Energy guy. I don't want a Monster Energy guy in my family. I'm not doing that.
the positive association with Kyle Seager and Kyle Lewis is too much for you. It's overwritten by the Monster Energy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm glad we got 2 non-Monster Energy Kyles on our team, but
well, you never
the
know.
internet has killed the name for me.
You never know. They might be Monster Energy Kyles. You never know.
That's true. I mean, Kyle Seager's kind of a hype guy, dude. I could see him smashing a monster before.
Yeah, he's a redneck too. He's deep south. You know. He might be. Yeah, he might be a big monster chugger. I might not. I wouldn't speak too quickly. Kyle Seager might be a big monster chugger.
That's very true.
Anyways, that was the best thing I saw. Shedlong's tweets, dude. Follow Shedlong. I think it's SLong895, which I'm assuming must be his area code or something like that. Awesome Twitter follow. I mean, just follow all the Mariners, but some of them are funnier than others. Worst thing I saw this week, I think anytime that your team gets no hit and pretty much perfect gamed, like anytime your team is on the wrong end of history, that game was hard to watch. I don't know how much you watched of that John Means game, Nick. I was at work, and we had a really slow week, so I was pretty much doing nothing but like watching that game. I was so painful to watch, especially because my boss just loves to rag on me about anything that goes wrong with any of my sports teams. Loves to rag on me, and the whole time he's like, "Oh, wow, you guys only a few outs left. Oh, I can't believe this shitty Mariners. This is just so typical of the Mariners to get no hit by some no name, which is like, man, disrespectful to John Means.
Amazing, he's the ace.
I mean, John Means is good. I think he's nationally he doesn't get a lot of respect, right? And obviously my boss is not a big baseball guy, so he didn't know who John Means was before this game, right? But I mean, he destroyed us. Like his changeup could also probably be the best thing I saw the last 2 weeks. It probably was actually. I mean, I'm defaulting to the Mariners and Shedlong, but like that's 1A. 1B of the best thing I saw this week was John Means' changeup. It was absolutely nasty, dude. I'm not kidding you. I almost got no hit in MLB The Show by John Means.
That's funny.
He had me. I think I lost the game like 3-1. But he had me with maybe like 1 or 2 hits, like only 1 or 2 hits through like 7 innings, and then he was like too tired, so they pulled him. And I scored on one of the relievers, but I don't think he didn't give up a run against me. Yeah, I almost got no hit by John Means in video game land. So
but
the Mariners' bats are pathetic. I think
it's. Oh yeah, they're terrible. They're really bad. I mean, so like you look at like the best sluggers on the team right now. One of the best ones is J.P. Crawford. He has literally the highest batting average on the team. You look at his barrel rate, 1%. What was that one barrel that he's hit all year? Oh, it was his home run just the other night.
Yeah.
You look at his hard hit rate, bottom 5% of the league. Exit velo, bottom 3%. Expected slugging, bottom 4%. It's just. Oh, and this is their highest on base hitter. Like it's.
Yeah, our offense is terrible, and it's just the worst thing I saw. It all came together where everyone was equally garbage on a, what was it, like a Wednesday afternoon or a Thursday? No, it was like a Tuesday afternoon, right? Yeah. No, it was Wednesday. It was Wednesday.
You know what?
It was a Wednesday afternoon. John Means carved through the pathetic Seattle Mariners offense.
I almost feel a little fortunate that we didn't do the podcast last week, because I don't know if you noticed this, but between this first week, or the first week we didn't do a podcast, and the second week, right before this podcast here, Kyle Lewis, completely night and day. Like, he literally flipped the switch. Like, he went from not ready for the season yet, Kyle Lewis, to absolutely torching the ball 2020 Kyle Lewis.
Yeah, I mean, and there are
literally doubled, right?
There are some members of the team who are starting to show signs of life, and we'll get into that. But first, we got to cover the news, Nick. There has been transactions, there's been moves, things have been happening. First off, we got to cover all of the transactions for the Mariners. Most notable ones, my boy, Marco Gonzalez. I literally put in an order for his jersey, and the next day he went to the injured list.
Yep.
What the hell?
Yeah, I'm surprised.
His time must be almost. He might be back, or he might be almost up. I think today or yesterday might have been intended to be his start, but he wasn't ready to be back yet. I don't know when the exact timeline for him to return is. It's going to be a short injured list stint. We also had L.J. Newsome go to the injured list. He was injured with a case of the baddies, and he got the Margavicius bug, right, where he went out there, pitched like shit, and was like, "I must be injured. Time to go to the injured list." Although he was shaking his arm and stuff. I mean, I obviously he was actually injured, but it's one of those things where it's like,
he also
dude was pitching terrible, and
he just doesn't seem like the kind of dude that would do that.
No,
I don't know, like, totally how to say that, but like, I mean, just like the way he goes about doing his business and the way everyone talks about him, I don't see him as being one of those dudes who just like has a bad outing. It's like, it's not me, dude. I'm just fucked up. Like,
I don't think he would be like that either. But it's one of those things. It's always hard for me when a guy is pitching like shit and then gets injured and has to leave the game. It's like, well, he's injured with a case of the suckies.
Yeah,
it's hard.
I don't know.
It's hard for me not to think that.
Maybe I'm just gullible, but I always find those like kind of pretty convincing.
I mean, he was shaking his arm good. Luis Torrens noticed it and ran out there. They immediately went out there and took him out of the game. Like, he's probably injured, but also like he's pitching like shit. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, he did give up like 4 in the first inning. So
I hate to say this. LJ Newsome is one of those guys who's just like, if I didn't see him in a Mariners uniform again, I'd probably be okay. Do you feel that way?
No, I'm right there with you.
He just doesn't look like a major league. He's not ready, and he's old. He's already like decent. I think he's already like 25 or something like that. So he's already at the point where he should be major league ready.
Look, I'm gonna tell you straight up, 25 is not that old for Major League. I mean, look at guys like.
I'm just saying, like he should be getting ready. Yeah, I mean that's true.
I mean, it's like I actually think at like 25, 26, it's kind of like super impressive.
Okay, he's 24.
Does have a breakout. Okay, so it's even better. But like, you talk about like 25, 26-year-old seasons. I think that's really impressive when those are the years that people do break out. I mean, there's obviously exceptions to it, like Juan Soto and Ronald Acuna and those guys who are literally like 21 years old, like 19-year-old dudes who are just like torching the ball and just absolutely amazing, right? Like kind of like the Griffey style stuff.
Yeah.
But I think 20, 23, 24, 25, and even 26 is even like the years that you expect people to like first come up and like start producing.
Yeah, I guess I would say he's 24 years old. He can go back down for a couple years and see if he's ready then. I just have never really been impressed with him in a Mariners uniform, so.
I definitely don't expect him to be a starter of the future, though.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like when I see LJ starting the game or like coming into the game, I'm just kind of like, fuck, I hope this goes well.
No, I totally have the same perception. But like, I'm rooting for him. Like, I want him to do as best as he can, right?
Yeah, I agree. Anyways, and then the last notable name to go to the injured list is Keenan Middleton.
Oh.
I know, sad. He'll be back soon, though. He's a 10-day injured list guy. Should be fine. It did cause some shuffling in the bullpen, most notably, at least who I was most notably to me, Wyatt Mills of Gonzaga University. Gonzaga Bulldog pride, called up to the bigs, got into the games, pitched some good innings, and then was sent down like 5 days later.
He got absolutely torched in the game. I don't know if it was the game yesterday, but he gave up like 6, and we got like 1 out.
Yeah, he had
all right, that's enough.
He had a couple okay outings, and then he had a really tough outing, and then they were like, go spend some time in Tacoma. You'll see you next time, Zag.
Yeah. Well,
anyways, though, respect. Anytime, here, I'm going to tell you this right now, Nick. Anytime a Gonzaga, oh my god, speak English, dude. Anytime a Gonzaga Bulldog makes their MLB debut, an angel gets its wings. And it's a good day for baseball. Let's just say that. It's a good day for the world. It's a good day. Yeah. It's a good day for the world. Anytime a Gonzaga Bulldog makes their MLB debut, it's a good day for the world. So that's why it's notable.
Man, really notable thing for me that really stood out for me this week. I know this is a little off topic, but I really wanted to talk about it. But J.P. Crawford has the platinum glove in all of baseball right now. He is considered the best defender with the highest defensive metric score of any player in baseball right now.
Yeah, I saw that. He was leading defensive award. Does that take in... So I saw this before today. Does that take into account the fact that he had a throwing error today?
I don't know.
So he might not have the platinum glove. Well, but he did before today's game.
Yeah, but like it's worth pointing out, right? That like this is a player who's supposed to be incredible on defense, and he's living up to it. And that's what you really want to see from the young guys like him, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely excited. I mean, he already got a Gold Glove last year. Honestly, between him and Evan White, it's kind of shocking. Like, Evan White had an error over this last couple weeks. I can't remember exactly which game it was in. That was shocking to me. How shocked were you when Evan White muffed that ball? Like, just...
I was baffled. I saw... Well, it's actually his second error. He made an error in, like, the very first game of the season.
Oh, did he? I didn't remember that. Oh, shit, he has 2 errors already?
Yes,
Evan, what the hell, man?
I know. Both times it happened, I'm just like, wait, what? Evan can miss a ball? A ball can go in his direction and he doesn't catch it? I don't get it.
That's actually kind of unfortunate because I don't know this. I don't know the history of the Gold Glove, but I imagine the more errors you have, the harder it is to win one.
Seems about right.
And so already having 2 errors through like the first, like, what are we at, like 35 games or whatever? Not even 35 games. Like, not great, right?
But hey, you know what I just also did notice? I mean, I'm sitting on StatCast here, kind of messing around with the page. That's just how I spend my time whenever we do this podcast for some reason. And Sam Haggerty is the 11th fastest player in all of baseball.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's insane.
Dude, and that's another... Okay, going back, I said I wasn't going to talk about MLB The Show. Why are all the Mariners players...
super slow?
So slow, and if they are fast, their stealing rating is dog doo-doo.
Super low. I don't know.
What the heck?
It's the same thing, and I haven't brought it up on the show because I feel like I'm always ragging on SSD for like just not understanding what the Mariners' strength.
Yeah, just doing the Mariners dirty.
Just completely dirty. But like, Sam Haggerty is omega fast. Top 2% players in the league. 11th fastest player in all of baseball. 3rd fastest, I think he's listed as a shortstop. So 3rd fastest shortstop, who are the fucking most athletic guys in the game. Come on, man.
He's like an 80 speed. He's like an 80 speed. What the heck, man?
He's like 80 speed and like 30 stealing.
No one has over like 35 stealing on the Mariners. Okay. I know. This is an MLB The Show podcast. We gotta get past it though. We could literally just spend an hour here. We could spend our whole hour here just being pissed about the fucking Mariners on MLB The Show. Where we need to spend our hour being pissed about the Mariners in real life. But before we even get to that, Nick, we need to talk about some minor news because there were some huge minor league debuts for a lot of very important Seattle Mariners prospects. Starting off with the kid you have to talk about, Jared Kelenic. Making his AAA debut, very publicized how pissed he is that he's not already at the major league level, and how he won't, he's mad enough that he's not willing to sign an extension with the Mariners, and we're probably getting screwed out of our best prospect since Ken Griffey Jr. That's cool. Anyways, he started off his Rainier's career with 2 home runs. He just whacked 2 of them, and he was like, "Okay, you got to call me up." That's what that says, right? They're not cheap at all. They're big boys.
They were cheap. They were both pull side. He actually, the second one, the first one, he didn't even look like he got all of it. Like, he kind of looked like he, like, kind of got it off the bottom half of the bat a little bit. So, yeah, no, I definitely think Jared Kelenic ready. But I'm going to be honest with you, I do think it's a little almost unfair of him to be mad that he's not at the major league level. Like, everyone grows up. Or everyone in baseball like thinks they're gonna have like this Juan Soto, Ken Griffey Jr. Like, I'm just gonna be 18 years old playing in the big leagues, torching the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
But realistically, the dude has played like 40 games at AA. That's it. That's the highest he's played.
Literally, in 1 week at AAA.
In 1 week at AAA, and that was a year and a half ago. Like, come on, man. Like, there's no way they were going to call you up day one without giving you a crazy without you giving them a crazy extension, right?
Yeah, no, he's trying to force their hands. I think he then followed up his 2-home run debut with like a home run the next day or something like that. So
Yeah.
the dude is mashing. I know for sure that Jerry Dipoto was actually at a Rainiers game, one of the games, scouting him, and has like gone on record saying that he's probably going to be called up very soon. I think this was like a couple days ago, back when the Mariners were hitting like 204. Dipoto said it's going to be sooner rather than later that he's called up.
It'll definitely happen. It'll definitely happen soon, and you got to think it's definitely going to happen very soon because we are already past, believe it or not, we're already past the point where a player would get completed service time. So at this point, if any player comes to the Major League roster, other than I believe Shed Long because he was on the injury list, like you said, they will not get service time for this year. So he could literally be called up tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. It's going to be soon. I think it's very possible. It has to be at least by the end of this month, right? But I think it could be. We could be talking about Jared Kelenich's debut next week on this podcast.
I mean, based off what he's doing in AAA right now, I hope we do. But at the same time, I don't know, man. I'm terrified. This is the point in like a player development part where your like future superstar is like on the cusp of being called up, and you have no fucking idea still what you're going to see from them at the major league level. Are they going to immediately hit 20 home runs like Kyle Lewis? Are they going to Dustin Aclias for the next 6 years? Like, who knows?
Well, especially since you're seeing the guys right now who have been called up potentially premature, or maybe not even premature, but are struggling right now. Look at Taylor Trammell. Look at Evan White. Look at even, Ty France. Like, he started off hot, but he has really come down to earth. He's been really terrible.
I mean, he's hitting 236 at this point, and that's coming off of literally last week being over 300, right? So this dude is ice fucking cold.
Even Haniger is cold. Like, I mean, the whole team's bad right now, so there's really no point to like look at them individually. But it's one of those things where it does make it easy to like say you got to call up someone like Kelenic, who's like, fuck, if everyone's gonna be terrible, might as well let this guy see some major league pitching, right?
Yes.
All right.
I don't know, man. I mean, there's another option for it. Obviously, I mean, they've always got Braden Bishop, who if we're only looking for guys that are going to hit under 200, you can always call up Braden Bishop.
Yeah.
Alternatively, like Jake Fraley really has only played 6 games, and he should be back from his injury within, I want to say, the next month. So
yeah, I'm excited for Fraley to come back.
But if Kelenic comes up, no more Fraley. Like, how are they gonna get another spot? Are they gonna send out Sam Haggerty? I don't think so.
Well, it might be that some of them are taking some DH spots. Like, it could be, you could be running 4 outfielders in the lineup with 1 at DH, basically.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's like maybe Trammell even takes a back seat, but you're getting, Haniger, Kyle Lewis, Kelenic, and then Fraley at the DH, or Kyle Lewis at the DH.
Kyle Lewis. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. There's some of these guys that I do think, now that AAA is going on, this is a good time to send them down. Like, I do think, I'm going to be honest with you, I hate saying it, Taylor Trammell should probably go to AAA. If he absolutely starts mashing the fucking baseball, this is going to be the ice-cold take of the fucking show. But at this point, Taylor Trammell looks like he needs more time to, like,
Here's the thing. Anyone that's saying anything opposite, it doesn't have anything statistical to back up. And it's like, we are the most positive Mariners people I know. But we're watching every game and we see these guys. We see Trammell struggling.
Yeah.
We see Ty France struggling. We see all these guys. Yeah, Dylan Moore struggling. I mean, he's kind of starting to heat up, right? He has 7 RBIs over the last 8 games or so. Like, Demo's starting to heat up a little bit. I'm kind of like thinking he might be fine. He just is maybe coming out of a slump.
I mean, you look at the guys in the roster, Dylan Moore, not going down. No way in hell, because this dude is literally one of the more established players on the club as well, right?
Yeah.
But, like, Marmo's at risk, Taylor Trammell's at risk, Luis Torrens is at risk, Sam Haggerty's at risk.
Yeah. They all are, man. Everyone's... And here's the thing. I think one of the best thing about having a good farm system like we have is those guys got to know that if you can't hit at the major league level, there are Logan Gilberts and Julio Rodriguez, even though he's all the way down at high A or whatever, Noelvi Martes, that are waiting to take your job. They are ready and waiting to go to the big leagues. They're chopping at the bit.
On and on, too. I mean, guys like Austin Shenton, and even that Joe Rizzo guy who we don't hear about anymore.
Yeah.
All of these guys would love an opportunity to be called up. And with the
Yeah, for
struggles that
sure.
the team is having at this point, it's more than likely going to happen for a couple of these guys.
I mean, and some of these guys are going to have to, like for Service to keep his job, for DePoto to keep his job. Like
Yes.
it doesn't. You can't say, oh, we're rebuilding. We're 2 years away from being a playoff team when your team is hitting 200. You can't. You have to start showing signs of life because right now Jerry DePoto has said like, okay, we're bringing up the young guys. Look and see what they can do. And turns out they can only hit 200.
Yes, it's terrible. At this point, it's a fucking ice cold take to think that the Mariners have like a fucking snowball's chance in hell to win a World Series in the next couple years.
This team is not 2 years away from a playoffs the way they look right now. And it'll be interesting because there's a lot of prospects we haven't seen play any baseball yet, so that could change the thing. But if we were told that this is the core of the team that's going to be making up our next playoff run, it's not looking great. It's not looking great. Well. And this is, again, we're only 35 games or so, 34 games into the season. It's a small sample size, but it would have been, we're over halfway through the season we played last year.
Yep.
So, I mean, at this point last year, Nick, you and I were doing our mid-year tier rankings. I mean, we're a few months off of that from right now, but, you know, we're working with the sample size that we have, and we're currently tied for last place in baseball and batting average at, 210. And we're very low in all the other important metrics. The only thing that we're actually decent in is like runs. We're like middle of the pack in runs, and that's why we have a positive record. That's why we're 18 and 17 or whatever. So it is 35 games for the season.
So I do want to maybe a little bit play devil's advocate here and just say that this is probably it has to be, based off what we're seeing in baseball with all of the no-hitters and all the success that the pitchers are having, one of the hardest seasons to hit in baseball than it has been in like the last probably 10 years at least, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely, you're right, it's definitely like a baseball thing as a whole. Like hitting is down as a whole, but the Mariners are the poster childs of bad hitting right now, and that's the problem I have. The Mariners and the Indians.
I wanted to bring up another one that's like actually goes to show you that like even the really successful hitters are really like swinging and missing at everything right now. Did you know the Dodgers are the second worst hitting team in the National League?
Yeah, dude. They literally, from the time that we saw them and split games with them, after that split, they were like 13-3 or 14-4, something like that. They went on an absolute shit tear, and they have the same record as the Mariners. At least going into today, I didn't see how they finished today, but they're just as bad as us, right? I mean, and we're not bad. We're sitting at like 500 baseball. Like that's not bad, right?
No, especially for what we're doing.
Like take things back a little bit. The sky is not falling. We're still playing okay baseball. We're still winning a lot of games. Our pitching staff has struggled over the last 2 weeks, and that's why we've dropped a bunch of games. We're currently let's see. If we're looking at this, against the Astros we went 1-3. That blew. Against the Angels 2-1. Against the Orioles 1-2, and we got no hit. And then against the Rangers 1-2, and our pitching really struggled against Texas. But before that,
it's so unfortunate.
It actually was sort of okay. I mean, here's the thing. We've given up a lot more runs the last couple weeks. I want to say we actually had we were like top 10 in ERA 2 weeks ago. Right now, we're sitting at 18th. We've fallen all the way back to have a 4.16 team ERA. Our bullpen has started to struggle a little bit. You really saw that, especially this last 7 days, this last week. You saw the bullpen struggle really hard. It seems like, the Mariners are coming back down to earth from a really great start, but it's not like over yet because we can still see that we have talent. We're just stifling right now. We're really getting into, the dog days of this season, right? We're over 30 games into the season. These are the dog days of summer, We're getting into the grind of it. Yeah. And we still have, 130 games left to go.
I think this last week, the second week that we had before this podcast, has been so disappointing to me because we won 1-3 against the Astros, like you're saying. We 2-1 against the Angels, and then these next two series should have been a goddamn cakewalk for us.
Right.
Texas and Baltimore, like the teams don't get any easier than that.
Yeah,
Like,
not much easier.
Like, these are not, like, terrible teams. Like, they're still solid rosters. But, like, these are literally who people project as, like, two of the worst teams in all of baseball.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what, the Orioles are last place in their division.
Texas is last place in our division.
Texas is last. We lost series to 2 last place teams.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's not good. It's not good.
Like, it's not good. And the Texas series was not even close. I mean, okay, that's not true at all. But I guess this Mother's Day game today, was not even close. 2-10.
No, the Mother's Day game was not close.
Railed.
I mean, honestly, I will say this. I don't know how you feel. I would pinpoint this Rangers series as the most frustrating series of the year so far for me. Because if you think about it, the very first game, we won that game 5-4. But we had a lead. And we started to kind of give up that lead. And it literally took Kendall Graveman's heroics in that first game to shut the door and save us in that first game, right? Then in the next...
not a good team!
No, against not a good team. The
Rangers are terrible!
Then in the next game against the Rangers, we get off to a 4-0 lead. Halfway through the game, we have a 5-1 lead. Then it just we turn it to the bullpen. I mean, it was a bullpen day, right? It was a bullpen game. It was a full bullpen day, but the bullpen got really wrecked, and like Wyatt Mills got beat up really bad, and the Mariners, they came back. All of a sudden it was 5-5. The Rangers took a lead 6-5. The Mariners came back and tied it up 6-6, and it was just like so back and forth, and like I think if you were a neutral person watching this game, you're like, wow, this is really good back and forth baseball. But we're, as Mariners fans, we're sitting here being like, the Rangers are not good, and we're giving up tons of runs, and we're struggling. We're just struggling so hard, and then we end up losing that game, right? We end up losing the game. Then today, Mother's Day, Sheffield goes out and lays a big fat egg. And it was so hard to watch. We were losing before we even didn't we start up like 1-0 or whatever today, or we tied it up at like 1-1, whatever it was. I can't remember exactly, even though it happened like a couple hours ago.
The game was going pretty well until the 6th when Sheffield just gave up 6. He just posted a 6 spot on it.
Yeah, he just got lit up. It's like, I don't know. This for me was easily, and coupled that with I was already coming off being kind of frustrated by getting no hit. So like. Yes. And you come back and you're just like, man, okay, the Mariners' bats looked, they put up 5 runs, but against a really bad team, and then we just struggle in these 2 grinders over the next 2 days. It's just like, this Texas series, then tack on that no-hit against the Orioles, the most disappointed I felt, and the hardest to watch baseball. Like, it wasn't good baseball. Even that 9-8 game, we scored 8 runs, but it was against the Rangers, man. It was hard to watch baseball. It was not good baseball that we've seen. And I just want to... It gets scary because now we have to go play against the Dodgers, and they're not playing well either, but if there's anything that cures you, it's going against a team that's batting .210. Yeah. I'm very scared that we're going to go to Los Angeles on Tuesday and Wednesday and get absolutely lit up.
Yeah, especially because the Dodgers actually can pitch. Like, they literally have the best pitching staff in the National League. Like, it's not debatable. Their pitching staff is just fan-fucking-tastic. And if the Mariners can't compete with Baltimore or Texas, there's no way with the ice-cold fucking bats that we have now that will ever beat them.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only real respite, and this is going to be a very interesting thing, too. After we play the Dodgers, we go and play at home 4 games against the Indians, Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah, I'm actually going to that series.
Are you?
The Thursday game.
Dude, let's go. We need this because the Indians are the only other team that's as bad as we are with the baseball bats.
Hey, don't forget
so
about
it'll
the
be
Royals.
That's true.
Ice cold.
It'll be a good litmus test. Like if our pitching struggles against the Indians, then it might be time to press the panic button, right?
Well,
and start seeing some of these young guys.
It almost kind of feels like it is already time to hit the panic button because I got it.
I'm not there yet.
I'm not totally there, but I'm not in love with the pitching position that the team is in, because you look at especially the starting rotation, the entire starting rotation less than 1 month into the season has just been crumbled. Like, Sheffield doesn't look consistent. Justin Dunn has never looked consistent. Nick Margevicius, why do I call him Sam all the time?
I don't know.
Margevicius has also never looked consistent. Paxton's out for the year. Marco's currently hurt, and when he was pitching, it was not consistent at all.
Yeah, he had a rough start.
And Flexen has been the most consistent guy, but he's on average with like a 4.5 ERA. That's not
good. His Flexen's last couple innings have been iffy, to say the least.
The whole rotation is just at risk, and like going into this, like we're supposed to be 6-man rotation is supposed to be the safe style baseball. It's the rotation where you only pitch once a week, so that none of your guys get hurt. What is happening with this ball club?
It sounds like you are ready to hit the panic button a little.
I am ready to hit the panic button.
Yeah, you're a little scared. I can see the little fear in your eyes, Nick.
No, what do we do? Do we call up all of our fucking pitching prospects and just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks? But like, you almost, at this point in the season, you cannot do that. Because these dudes have literally been like pitching for like 3 weeks at this point in time. And that's if they show up to camp on time. Which not every fucking player does, right?
Yeah. I mean, we got a little off track. Speaking of those pitching prospects, we did actually see this week Logan Gilbert's AAA debut. Pretty awesome. 5 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts over those 5 innings. He did give up a run on 4 hits. Like, absolutely fantastic outing for Logan Gilbert. You got to see that 5 innings. Our first round pick from 2 years ago. What's that? Call him up?
Call him up.
Nah, dude. Especially with these pitching guys. You got to give them a little time, though, right? Gotta give him a little time.
You're absolutely right. I am just joking, but like that is the most terrifying thing about what's going on at the major league level. Is it's not going to get any easier for us from the pitching perspective, right?
Yeah, that's true. And then we also got to see Emerson Hancock's pro debut. Nick, how excited were you about this? He went 2 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts. He looked fantastic playing A-ball. Emerson Hancock, our first round draft pick. So. You know what? Here's the thing. Our high draft picks are performing in the lower league baseball, right? Honestly, what scares me in the idea, this is always going to be scary, in my opinion, because if you start bringing these guys up, if you bring up Jared Kelenic, if you bring up, the Cal Raleighs, even the pitching prospects, like say in 2 months you get desperate and you bring up Logan Gilbert. If it doesn't work out with these guys, you're screwed.
You're fucked.
You're so screwed. That's the thing that's scary to me, is that it's like to say the idea that like we are feeling desperate, we're hitting the panic button, we need to bring all these guys up. What if they don't work, though?
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, here's the thing. If they don't work, not only do you then have to reset all over again, but... DePoto's going to lose his job. Service is going to lose his job. You're going to bring in a whole new regime, and they're going to want to start all over again fresh, too. Like, we cannot afford right now. That's the scary thing, is these guys have to work out. They have to work out, because if they don't, we're set back another 10 years.
And it's even worse than that, because at this point, if we rebuild again, who do we have to trade away for prospects? What, you don't have Cano, you don't have Edwin Diaz coming off of a 60-save season, you don't have Gene Shigura, you don't have Zunino, who, okay, trade low, but we can't trade for more prospects. You literally just have to, like, Astros fucking feed your team into, like, 150 season losses, or season losses. And then just sign boys like Carlos Correa and Bregman, who are going to cheat, but are apparently going to become superstars. It's just, it sucks. I hate it. And I don't want this to be our future.
Yeah, I'm just looking, it's like, so DePoto was hired in 2015, started making trades like crazy. This is year 6 now. If it fails, it's going to be an even bigger reset.
Oh my god, yeah. And like that's the scary thing, is you gotta think DePoto's near the end of his contract, you gotta think Service is near the end of the contract, and I'm sure we could probably find out what these contracts are, but we're dumb and we're just fans and we're not gonna look them up because who cares? But this is the years where these dudes in the organization are gonna be like, holy fuck, we have like 2 years to make this work. Call everyone up, or we're gonna all lose our jobs.
Yeah,
fucking Mariners.
It's tough. It's a weird spot. I'm trying to figure out what DePoto's contract is. The last thing I saw was that he got an extension in 2018, but it's not entirely clear how long it was going to be.
Yeah. Huh. Okay, but even like GM contracts like that are not solid. I mean, look at Jeff Bridges, or British. But like, obviously, people don't like him for a different reason. But that dude just lost his job like 4 weeks into the season, like almost completely unexpectedly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like these dudes could literally just lose their jobs any day.
Right. I'm reading this article about when he got his extension in 2018, and there's a bunch of quotes being like, from Kevin Mather, being like, "Oh, DePoto's just our guy. We love him so much. We're so happy to have him here. This guy hasn't stopped working since the day he's got here." Like, gross. Oh, so gross. Oh, boy.
Don't you hate it when people you don't like talk hypely of people you do like?
It's just like the aged like milk thing, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
It's just absolutely aged like milk. All right, so, I mean, we talked about it. Let's see. We've covered all the news. We talked about how we performed this last week. We've, like, really delved deep into the batting. We've talked a lot about starting pitching. Defense, I mean, I don't really have anything. I think our defense is actually pretty good. I mean, we had 3 errors today, but other than that, you don't see a lot of mistakes from the Mariners' defense, so that's good.
Yeah,
I mean, the bullpen
feels really good.
The bullpen is coming back down to earth for sure, and we've talked about that. There's just so many injuries, so many guys cycling through. It'd be nice if we could get a little bit more stability. That's what was really successful for us, right? In like the first 20 games. So much stability. We were putting out the same lineup every day. We had the same bullpen. DePoto had his reliable guys that he was going to, whether it was, Steckenrider or Vest or Sadler or Middleton. But if these guys start getting hurt or getting overworked, then they have to be out some days. You get inconsistency, and that's really what is lacking right now, I think, especially from a pitching standpoint. You're lacking the consistency, and then the bats are really struggling. So, I don't know. Nick, we have to do this. This is probably the hardest one we've had to do so far. We have to give out team MVPs. Oh, I wish I didn't laugh when I say that. I wish I could say that without laughing. Oh God. Do you have any idea who you would like to give MVP to for this week?
Honestly, most valuable player. I don't even know. Maybe just Kendall Graveman because he's like one of the only dudes in the bullpen who doesn't suck at this point.
That is interesting. Kendall Graveman.
Oh wait, no, he gave up like 3 the other night, didn't he?
I think he might have
know.
a couple.
Maybe JP Crawford because he's the only dude who has like any form of consistency.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, JP. So over the last, it might have to be right over the last 15 days. It might over the last 15. What's that? No, go ahead. Talk. Do your thing.
You can like totally make a case about like against JP Crawford. Like you look at his
I know that's the problem, right?
You look at his hitting stats and they're terrible. Like he has 1 barrel over the course of 121 plate appearances. Like how is that even possible? You are one of the dudes on this roster who is 100% major league ready. So how the fuck are you hitting worse than guys like, oh, I don't know, Luis Torrens, Evan White, Taylor Trammell, Sam Haggerty? Like you are one of the bats at this point in time who needs to be like at least average.
Yeah,
right?
and here's the thing: even JP Crawford, like I'm looking at JP Crawford here. So here's some averages over the last 2 weeks, over the last 15 days. JP Crawford's hitting .319. That's MVP candidate for me, right? Yeah. Kyle Lewis is hitting .280. Okay, good. Seager, .235. Dylan Moore, .225, which is a lot better than he has been, right? Those are technically increases.
You look at Dylan's average and it's 152. Oh.
Yeah, so 225 is showing life. Mitch Haniger, 160 or 196 over the last 2 weeks, and then Ty France, 104. If we gave out a Doggy Doo-Doo award, it would have to be Ty France, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he has 5 hits over his last 48 at-bats.
Yeah, it's not good. I'm going to go with my MVP is probably just Mitch Haniger. Just because I can't give it to anybody else other than Mitch.
I mean, he hit 196. He hit under 200 over the last 2 weeks.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, okay, he has 3 home runs over that period of time.
Give it to Kyle Lewis. Kyle Lewis.
So your argument, what's your argument against J.P. Crawford, though?
That was I already gave you. Like, his barrel rate is so low.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, though, like, over his last 2 weeks, his average is 319, but his OPS is only 841. I would expect someone with a 319 batting average to be having an OPS closer to 1,000, wouldn't you think?
Yes! It's all soft contact. You look at his expected batting average, 240? His expected batting average was 240? Are you kidding me? For a dude that's hit 300 over the last week, this dude is getting incredibly lucky with his hits, and that is a part of baseball. We love J.P. Crawford, and we don't want to just shit on him for no reason. But come on, man, you gotta use the big part of the bat.
It is interesting because this is probably going to be J.P. Crawford's best splits, best 2 weeks, and neither of us are going to give him team MVP of the period. I'm actually going to go with... You're going to go with Kyle Lewis, which I think is respectable. 3 home runs over the last 2 weeks, 14 hits and 50 plate appearances, batting .280. Like, if you get that every 2 weeks from Kyle Lewis, you're going to be really happy, right?
Well, especially because I actually think I'm really impressed with even his season numbers at this point. Because we're talking about a dude that missed the last 3 weeks of spring training. He missed the first 3 weeks of the season, and in his first week of the season, didn't look like he knew what a baseball looked like. So to see him come back in such full rookie of the year strength that he was showing before, it's awesome. It's impressive. I love watching him hit again, and I'm really excited to see him on the club.
Honestly, his slugging numbers are actually not that much better than JP's, though. JP is slugging .468 over the last 2 weeks. Kyle Lewis is slugging .480. And the difference is that JP has 4 doubles to Kyle's 1, but Kyle has 3 home runs to JP's 1 home run. So,
dude, you're totally right, and that's why I said earlier that if we had done a podcast last week, I would have made one of the most ice cold takes I've ever made with Kyle Lewis looking like he doesn't know how to hit a baseball, and then immediately hitting 400 over the next week, right?
Yeah, let's see. If I change the splits to last 7 days.
Kyle Lewis.
Yeah, Kyle Lewis is hitting 375.
What's his slugging number? Because it's got to be really high.
542. Yeah, he's at 965 OPS over the last 7 days. Yeah, two walks, only. Oh my God! This shit almost had me jump out of my seat. Only 2 strikeouts over the last 7 days.
Oh my goodness! What a week for Kyle.
2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 1 home run. Only 3 RBIs, but that's because no one is getting on base. 9 hits and a double and a home run. Yeah, wow, okay. Dang, son. Yeah, JP, if you take the last 7 days only, falls down to 286 batting. Oh, Ty France. Dude, do you want to know this number? Okay, if there are any children that are listening to this, cover your ears. Cover your ears, because this is as offensive as it gets. Ty France over the last 7 days is hitting .053. Oh, that's disgusting. I felt gross coming out of my mouth. Oh, that's just so gross.
That is Omega ice.
Oh, 1 hit over his last 19 at-bats. Oh, that's just disgusting. Oh, I'm actually gonna go. This may surprise you, Knickerbocker. I'm actually gonna go down the pitching route for my MVP.
Oh?
I'm actually gonna go someone that we haven't even said. His name has not touched our lips, and it's a little disrespectful, because it's one Yusei Kikuchi.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he was on the club.
And that is disrespectful, because over the last 2 weeks, his last 2 appearances combined, he is pitching with a 1.93 ERA, only giving up 3 runs over his last 2 starts. A whip, Nicholas, of 0.64. Beautiful. just whipping up gems. He actually has a loss over that time because our batting has been so terrible. He got hard Felixed. He got hard Felixed the other day.
Dude,
yeah.
Oh my god. I don't know if you've been paying attention to this. You really just like the total Felix call. I don't know if you've been paying attention to like the MLB community as a whole, like the MLB fan community as a whole. But a lot of people are talking about how
DeGrom.
Jacob DeGrom is the most like rigged fucking pitcher ever because his offense can't help him. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You know Felix literally spent a decade with the 2010 Mariners, right? Like, what are you talking about? None of those teams can hit. And this dude is literally like negative 100 wins from that team.
I will say this, though. Like, I actually, from what I've heard nationally, is that Felix's name is actually getting respect put on it because people are being like, wow, Jacob DeGrom is the next Felix Hernandez because his team doesn't help him out at all. Like, I've actually heard people say, like, of pitchers that have been the most screwed in the history of baseball, Jacob DeGrom is, like, approaching Felix Hernandez levels because everyone knows how much the Mariners screwed Felix Hernandez.
Dude, I honestly feel like people have completely forgotten about Felix. Like, from what I've seen...
Really? I've seen a lot of it mentioned.
Everyone's talking about Jacob DeGrom.
I've seen a lot of... When people talk about how screwed Jacob DeGrom is, I always hear them mention, like, just like Felix.
Damn.
It's hard to hear it like that. Anyways, yeah, we have not given Yusei any respect this pod.
Dude,
like shame on us. Shame on us.
I forgot.
There are a couple hits to the hand. Couple hits to the hand. But Yusei quietly is probably the best pitcher on our team right now.
Oh yeah, I would say by far with numbers like that. I mean, I'm just like looking at it on stats.
Yeah, I want to look at. Let's see his 2020 numbers. He over his 6 games. I guess he has a 4.3 ERA, 1 win, 2 losses. But you know he's pitched really well over the last couple weeks. His last 2 outings. How do I find? I just want to find his game by game.
I mean, the numbers don't really tell the story. It's
game logs. Like, here we go.
There is a narrative to each game, right? And I think a lot of the times that like Felix just loses it in 1 inning for some reason.
Yeah, Felix. That was the one thing about Felix. Felix always had like 1 bad inning, right?
I meant Yusei, not Felix.
Yusei does the same. Felix would do that same thing. Yusei does it too.
Yes.
Let's see. In April. Oh, yeah. He had one of the losses. The other loss to. No, wait. Was this the same day as the John Means game?
Yes. Yusei.
Yeah, Yusei pitched the John Means game. So like,
that's because he got completely overshadowed.
Yusei pitched the John Means game. He pitched 7 innings of baseball.
I think it was 8 scores.
No. It says 7 innings of 3. He gave up 3 earned runs because in the Houston game he pitched 7 innings of scoreless baseball. So
that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean dude gave up 3 runs on 5 hits, like in 7 innings. You'll take that every single time. That's a great outing from a pitcher. So
I mean, that's a quality start for sure, isn't it? Like 3 or less.
Yeah, 3 or less over 6 innings. 3 or less runs, 6 innings pitched. Yeah. So honestly, it's kind of dope seeing you say. I'm looking at his stats here. He really only has 1 bad game where against Boston he was only able to go 4.2 innings. But 4 2/3 innings, but the last 2 games he was able to go 7 innings. Like he's just a consistent innings eater. So I'm giving my MVP to Yusei. We need to put some respect on his name, and I'm 100% looking at this. I'm gonna be pretty excited to see his next start. Who's it gonna be against?
Probably Cleveland, right?
Let me see. No, it's probably gonna be the second. Oh, because it's either gonna be the second Dodgers game or the first Indians game.
Ooh. I might be at that next.
Let's see. Well, if it's on Thursday, yeah. Let me see here. I'm looking at the probable pitchers right now. It looks like. Oh, Yusei. No, it looks like Yusei is going to go in the first game here against the Dodgers tomorrow. Oh. He's slated as the probable pitcher.
Really? I feel like that John Means game just happened.
I know, it did just happen. Maybe they don't have us set up in our 6-man rotation on MLB.com, but...
No, because there was that whole Texas series, and that feel like I guess I just blacked.
Well,
it
that
out
was
again.
3 games. Yusei pitched the last game against Baltimore. Then there were 3
Yes.
Texas games. So this would have Yusei going on short rest if he pitched tomorrow.
Yeah, but that's also not considering that we have a 6-man rotation because like the MLB.com or whatever thing you're looking at only considers 5-man rotations.
Yeah. I'm willing
So-
to bet that Yusei either pitches the second Dodgers game or I don't know, did they say on the broadcast? Usually they say like the next game on the broadcast. I don't remember seeing it though.
Yeah, but a lot of they'll tell you if it's undecided, and I didn't.
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of hope he pitches tomorrow because he's slated to go against Walker frickin' Buehler. I would love to see that matchup.
I'm almost certain it's gonna be Justin Dunn.
Well, they actually have Justin Dunn going the second game against Los Angeles against Julio Urias.
Oh, maybe it's Marco tomorrow. Maybe that they're slotting in Marco tomorrow.
Oh, could be if he's healthy.
Yeah, I mean that would be a nice matchup. Marco versus
Walker Buehler. Love
Walker
that.
Buehler, yeah,
Love that.
love
All
that.
right. Well, I'm excited. You know what? I
But,
thought
dude,
I would.
I like it even more considering Marco's last good outing was that 8-inning shutout against the Dodgers, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So that would be cool if we got to see a game like that for Marco.
Okay. You know what? I thought I was going to be leaving this podcast feeling pretty depressed and like I want to say the first like 80% of our podcast here had me feeling that way, but you know, it was nice. I think it was nice ending on the MVPs. That was the nice little like we got all this shit out in the first like 45 minutes and then we ended the last 15 minutes on our MVPs. It was a nice little topping on the cake that is season 3 episode 7 of the Corner of Edgar and Dave podcast. Any final thoughts, Nick?
Yeah. I almost didn't want to bring it up because I noticed that when we were starting the podcast, but we are officially a 3rd place team. At this point, in the next couple weeks, let's say over the next 2 weeks, do you see us overtaking 1st place?
Dude, I wanted to end it on some positivity. No,
I mean,
because
it's
the
worth
A's are too freaking hot. They keep winning bullshit games. I watched some A's games recently this last week. They are the luckiest MRFers that have played baseball. Like, I cannot stand watching this A's team because I just, like, everything just feels so undeserved that happens to them. And that's maybe me not giving them enough credit, but I don't really care. I don't really care if I'm not giving them enough credit or if I'm being disrespectful. Like, watching these guys play, like, they are not that good at baseball, but they're at, like, 22 wins or something like that. This is ridiculous, man. Ridiculous.
So, I gotta say, I agree with you, and this is why I was so high on the A's going into the offseason, but it's one of those things where it's like, the A's have to be God's baseball team. Because every single season, they come into the season with, like, kind of a mediocre lineup, kind of a mediocre pitching staff, and, like, a bullpen full of people you don't know, and then they're just, like, a 90-win club at the end of the year, and you're like...
Yeah, they're a freaking playoff team every year. They're a playoff team every year. It's so frustrating. I'll say this. Here's my only thoughts. I'm not going to say whether or not we could make 1st place in the division, but if we lose... Maybe. Here's what I will say. If we lose this series against the Indians, I'm going to be feeling really bad next Sunday.
Yeah.
If we go 1-3 against the Indians, no matter what happens, even if we go 2-0 against the Dodgers, if we go 1-3 against the Indians, I'm going to be feeling rotten next Sunday.
I mean, we better at least win that first fucking game, because I'm going to be at the stadium.
That's good. That's a good point. That's a good point. Even if we go 2-2, I'm going to be kind of like meh, but I'm not going to be feeling great. We got to go 3-1 against the Indians. Regardless of what happens against the Dodgers, I think we got to start beating teams that are worse than us. We cannot have losing series against Baltimore, against the Rangers, and then against Cleveland. Like, we have to start beating the bad teams, because that's what the good teams are doing, right? Like I've been, I talk crap with, like, my boss and my coworkers. I have a I have a coworker who's an A's fan, and I'm like, you guys haven't played anyone. You guys went on a 15-game win streak or whatever against literally the worst teams in baseball. And like my boss is a White Sox fan, and they've played the worst teams in baseball too, and they have a big win streak and a good winning record. And it's like one of those things where it's like, I can talk.
Is that why you're so high on the Twins and low on the White Sox?
It's not the point. I can talk all the crap I want, but if the Mariners don't show up against these bad teams, like we played well against good teams, but if we don't show up against bad teams, it's not going to matter how well we play against good teams. It really isn't. Because if we have losing series against bad teams, it's not going to matter. And that's why we have to at least split, if not win, this series against the Indians coming up.
Yeah. We might as well just take 2 against the Dodgers, too, because they're playing pretty shitty right now.
That's also a good point. That's a good point. The Dodgers are technically not a very good team right now. Yeah, they're worse than us. They're worse than us. They're like what 4-15 over their last 20 or something like that. They're terrible.
You know what? I'm gonna say it. You gotta sweep the bad LA team, and right now, that's the Dodgers.
We'll see. I mean, the Angels are not much better. The Angels are very bad as well. So.
Dude, oh my god.
That was the team we beat. That was the team we beat. It was the Angels. Like, the Angels are very bad, too. Oh, we forgot to mention freaking Albert Pujols being cut.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what I was going to bring up. But also, I really wanted to bring up, before we talk about Pujols, which is a whole other can of worms, we're at the end of the podcast. We'll wrap it up for you guys. Sorry. But are you getting... We're about a month plus into the season at this point, right? Are you getting as sick as I am of, like, MLB Network talking about Shohei Ohtani all the time? Literally... Get this fucking guy out of my face. Shohei Ohtani. He's no Shohei Ohtani. Well, he's not hitting like Shohei Ohtani. Well, this pitcher's not as good as Shohei Ohtani. Have you seen Ohtani's splitter? It's way better than this guy's changeup. Oh my god. Stop talking about Shohei Ohtani.
They love Shohei, don't they? It's one of those things where it's just like, dude, Shohei Ohtani is so huge that they freaking changed MLB The Show's Road to the Show to just allow you to be Shohei Ohtani. That's how big this guy's. I'm going to be honest. I'm sick of him only... And I think if I was like a neutral fan, I'd probably be fine with it. But I'm only really sick of it in the sense that like I kind of feel like we got done dirty a little bit by Shohei as the Mariners, because it was all about like, oh, Shohei loves the Mariners, he wants to be like Ichiro, he's going to sign with the Mariners, blah, 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 and then he goes and signs with the Angels, so I still kind of feel a little dirty about that. Like,
oh, yeah, absolutely.
To me, that's the only reason that I kind of really am kind of like tired of hearing about Shohei. But I'm with you there. I am tired of hearing about him.
It just kills me because, like, Shohei Ohtani's really fucking hot right now on both sides of the ball, right, as a two-way player. But dude's not even the best player on his team, right? And there's so many other fantastic players in the game of baseball. And I'm gonna keep saying his name. Juan Soto, the guy's a fucking monster. Like,
you love Juan Soto.
Christian Yelich, fucking monster. Freddie Freeman, Ronald Acuna Jr., fucking monsters.
Yeah, but do they have a splitter, Nick? Do they have a splitter? The answer's no. Don't even bring them shitlords' names up in my presence. If they can't hit 25 home runs and throw a dirty splitter, I don't want to hear about it.
I hate it. If I have to hear another Japanese-born player with a fantastic splitter, I'm going to blow my brains out. Like, I've literally just watched the past 10 years of guys like Kuma and
Kikuchi.
Kikuchi, and even the guy on the Yankees who have crazy good success for like 5
Tanaka.
Tanaka, like everyone from Japan throws a splitter. What are they, dude? If you want to throw a splitter, move to Japan.
Nick,
move your kid to Japan.
Who hurt you? Who hurt you? Who in MLB The Show with their splitter hurt you?
Ohtani!
Did Ohtani abuse you in MLB The Show? Is that what happened? Okay. I'm seeing behind the veil a little bit now.
Yeah, you are. Because the dude literally throws 100 and then throws an 88 splitter. And you're like, how can I swing at those?
You know what tilts me in MLB The Show? I swear to God, this is not an MLB The Show podcast. But you know what tilts me is that every single reliever has like a 99-mile-per-hour sinker. Like, what the heck, man? This is BS.
I don't know.
No one has fastballs anymore. They all have 99 sinkers. Like, what the heck?
Oh, yeah, and it's impossible to hit. I don't know what the fuck is going on over at SSD, but, like, they literally keep making pitchers with, like, janky pitching motions that are just, like, impossible to hit. They're like, let's give this guy a twat.
Is it SSC? I thought it's San Diego Studios. I thought it's SDS.
Oh, you're right, SDS. So they're like, let's give this guy a twacked out motion. He throws a 100-mile-per-hour sinker. Also throws a nasty changeup. Let's give him a slider. Why not? Who cares? Does he throw a slider? I'm not sure.
I feel like I need to take you and like show you one of those like with those therapy dolls and be like, Nick, please point out to the men here. They're only here to help you. Show us where Ohtani touched you. Show us where Ohtani hurt you. It's okay. You're in a safe place. Just
point to my fucking like hitting hands.
Show us where the bad man hurt you.
Yeah, the bad man hurt me.
Dude, we do have to mention before we finish off here, though.
Everywhere I go, I see his face.
It's like that meme that what is it? The 13 Reasons Why meme, where it's like it was those eyes, those what you know what meme I'm talking about?
I do, but I was thinking of the Avenger. Let's make that like. Do we do thumbnails? Let's make that the thumbnail. Like the me as Spider-Man looking up at the Shohei Ohtani poster.
Edit. Wait, thumbnails on the YouTube video?
Yeah, sure.
No, I usually don't. I just usually have something that shows the podcast logo and like what like episode it is. But if you need to you should Photoshop that and then tweet it out.
I might have to.
All right, we do have to mention Albert Pujols and legendary dude. I mean, there's nothing really we could say about Albert Pujols, but has it crossed your mind whether the Mariners should try and bring on Albert Pujols?
No way, dude. What are you gonna do, like a Ricky Henderson's tour for him? That's just not happening, and I don't want it to happen.
Well, I just mean in the sense that, like, couldn't these guys use like a strong veteran presence?
Okay, but we have enough dudes hitting sub 200. Like,
that's true.
Do we need to find guys that are hitting sub 200 and also 45?
Yeah,
like,
that costs $10 million.
I think you're thinking of 20, buddy.
He's being paid $20 million this year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Man. They're paying that dude now $20 million to not play for them.
Ouch. So it never crossed your mind. Okay. That's all I'm just saying it crossed my mind. I was like, you know what? Veteran presence to help mentor some young guys. Like, I wouldn't hate it. But if you're a no, then that's fine. No need to push it any further.
Dude, if the Mariners hire pool halls after, like, not spending any money in the offseason this year...
That'd be pretty insulting. That would be pretty insulting, actually.
I don't want a baseball team in Seattle if they do that.
That would just be like such desperation, dude. The Mariners can't even... The attendance is 9,000. They can't even sell out. Wait, are you guys going to be in the vaccinated section? Are you guys vaccinated?
Yeah, well said. So we will be fully vaccinated as of right before the game. So we're basically going to...
Oh, so you won't be able to go to the fully vaccinated sections though, will you?
No, yeah. It's like a 2-week period before you
yeah.
can go to that.
Okay.
So, no,
that's cool.
Yeah, we won't be good.
Alright, well, good luck with your vaccination. Have fun at the game on Thursday. That's it for the pod. Go M's.
Go M's.
There's a drive, deep right field, say goodbye. Hey, Lloyd, do some delivery for the truck.